Hey folks, Dan Frio here, the Mortgage Update. Today is June 8th, 2020. So, what we have today? So we're going to go over, we had some great news in the market, push rates down. But what I want to show you guys is how quick the markets are moving. Basically when we start to get some data. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over all the economic news for the day. And then the next thing we're going to do is go over, I got a surprise for you guys. So wait till the end because there's some fantastic information out there. So let's get to it. Let's go on to what's happening in the market today. So here's what we got. The jobs report. Well, that's a little bit of side information. This is what happened last week. It was ugly. You guys probably don't realize it, but when we follow it on a daily basis, I see it. And that's why we're going to go over the charts in a second. But last week, between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we saw mortgage rates go up over 0.25%. In some cases, in some buckets, I always call it, it went over 0.5% higher. I mean, that's huge in a 3-day time period, especially with the pandemic still going on. So that's what I want to kind of get back to is when I used to say pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Guys, if you're on the sideline right now, I know a lot of people are getting quotes, but don't keep putting it off till the point where you're like, okay, now I'll get around to it, because you're going to miss these things. And I'm not coming out to be the doom and gloom guy. But again, pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. I'm going to keep saying that. So that's that. So basically, mortgage rates spiked last week, and that was crazy. Here's what we saw today. Fantastic news. One of the surprising numbers that came out, I don't know why that's doing that, but one of the surprising things that came out today, and I'm going to show you here in a minute, the way people were answering if you're working or not, there was revised numbers. A lot of people were answering that information incorrectly. They're saying they basically lost their job, not thinking that they were furloughed, meaning they just kind of they still have their job when everything comes back and the lights click back on, but currently they don't have a job. So a lot of people were answering that information wrong, and look what the numbers did. So this is where we were focusing. So what's happening right now is the market's starting to absorb a lot of this data, and it's saying, you know what, things are pretty good. So we're seeing the stock market really rise, and in the same time, right now today, we saw mortgage rates take a nice little drawback. So here's what happened. Basically, a lot of the information, or a lot of people that were answering questions about unemployment, were answering them wrong. So this happens because the poor education on how to answer the questions. So here's the unemployment numbers where they actually are once the revisions took place. March, we had an unemployment rate of 4.4 or 5.4. It was revised to 4.4. But here you go. You start seeing these numbers. April, it was almost 20%. We saw in some categories they said it was 20, 21, 22%. The actual number after revisions is 14. Still a terrible number, but a 5% deviation. May, we had a 16.3%, what was the headline number, but when everything came out, it was actually 3% lower. So all this information starting to get blended back in is saying, you know what, it wasn't as bad as we thought. It's bad, but it's not as bad. So we don't have as much ground to make up. Let's look at what happens in the stock market. The stock market is a projection of where people think we're going to be 6, 8 months, 12 months down the road. That's why you're starting to see an uptick in the stock market. It's not today's figures. That's already baked in the cookies. It's where people are projecting things to be. You look a lot of times is company earnings report, where they're expecting earnings. Are they expecting earnings to grow, not grow, and so forth? That is determining the stock price. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that. The economic calendar for the week, most of the data coming in this week is basically in regards to inflation. And you can see that here, producer price indexes, less food and energy, import prices, all this stuff. I don't see these things other than food and energy taking a spike. Food, we're seeing a good rally in food, but energy, you got to remember, oil prices last year were a negative, or last month were at a negative, and now we're back to not good, but we're in the positive levels. Okay, that's what's going on there. Mortgage News Daily, and I follow this meticulously. Mortgage rates started week strong after moving higher at a quick pace, basically last week. They started to stabilize, and as we saw, here's what we got. Here's what we got for today. So the newbies out there, why do we follow this number? This number is what's happening to the mortgage-backed securities market. This is a bond that trades on Wall Street as an investment. This number represents the price of the bond. The more you pay for a particular bond, any bond, the less the yield, the less your rate of return. In this case, because they're mortgages, the lower the mortgage rate's going to be. Well, this chart looks like things are really stable, which they pretty much are, but it's more volatile than you think in the last couple days. We've had a run of almost, say, 100 basis points. I won't get into the technicals, but what skews this is this. This is very not normal. Sorry for the bad English. You take out this and you would have more of a chart that's a little bit bouncier than we were hoping. But look at this number. You know, these are normal markets, not this. So that's why a lot of people follow me, because I can educate you on saying what's going on. I have a big following in the real estate markets where realtors, investors, and so forth follow me. And we have a huge clientele base. I try to educate you guys on, different programs. What are mortgage rates going to do? Here's what my rates are doing, and so forth. How to shop it around, what the best program is for you. The good news I have, or the great news I have right now, is everything's starting to piece together. Thanks to you guys for watching. We came up with a new website today. It looks pretty generic, but you're going to be wowed. I can promise you that. There's a whole bunch of tabs up here. But the biggest part of this process, and we just launched this today, so go to therateupdate.com and you're going to hit apply now. It's going to feed you through the whole application. Then the nice thing is it's going to give you the last section, and I'm going to walk this through everybody tomorrow. I'm going to have a demonstration. When you get to the end, we're going to ask you for some of your documentation to make it kind of seamlessly. We're going to say, okay, in your application, you put down that you make $5,000 a month. Well, we're going to ask you for your pay stubs and W-2s. You'll be able to upload those directly, or even take a picture of it with your phone, and it'll automatically load into your file. Helps us get a more thorough response back to you, saying, instead of us saying, well, yeah, you should be able to get this, we're going to say, no, you are approved. You can go out there and basically darn near be a cash buyer, because your approval is solid. We have all the information we need from you. So stay tuned for tomorrow for that. So that being said, what I want to do is I'm going to go back to what I used to ask, is those out there that are looking for a mortgage, if you're already in the mortgage process, you would have received, or you've had to receive by law, what's called a loan estimate, or what we also call a fees worksheet. Please send that to me. I'll give you a secondary opinion saying, here's what I can or can't do. Probably 90% of the time, we're beating everybody on rate or fees, and probably half the time we're beating them on both. So do yourself a favor and do that. Also, if you haven't looked into refinancing, or you're just like, you know what, I'm going to put it on the side burner, please do me a favor. Email me a copy of your mortgage statement. Okay, that data is going to give me a couple of things. It's going to give me your address. I'm not a stalker. I'm not going to come down and look you up. It gives me your address so I can look it up and find the value of your property. The mortgage statement is going to give me your balance. So now I have the balance that you owe on the mortgage, your house value. So I know I got that piece. The missing element is your credit score. Give me what you think your credit score is, and I'll get back with you with a very educated idea of what program you can fit, why, what the rates are, and what the numbers look like. So I greatly appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to try to start making these a little bit more quicker. And we're going to do a more in-depth video once a week going over programs and processes and credit and all kind of other things that you ask for. So please comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see. Fridays at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, we're going to start doing our podcasting live. So we're going to have YouTube live. We're going to be able to ask questions. I'll have one of my specialists on my team with me, and we're going to start doing that this Friday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. And I hope you stay tuned. Hope you join us, and we will go from there. So if you'd like to reach out to me, the best way to do so is give me a call. Let's go back to that. Is give me a call at 844-775-LOAN. That's 844-775-5626. Or you can reach me at email me at D for Dan, Frio, which is Frio, so that's dfrio at preferredrate.com. But probably the best way to get us is just call me personally at 844-775-5626. So I want to just say, again, I want to say thank you guys for everything you're helping me do, reaching out to more people. Please share the button. Don't forget to subscribe. And leave some comments down below so I know in the future what videos you want me to do, and also what live YouTube live videos or talks you want me to talk about. So God bless. Thank you so much for watching, and you're going to be surprised because there's more and more and more things coming your way. So God bless. See you tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye-bye.